Hey, Jay? Oh, God, you're okay.
Help me up. Feel anything? I can't feel my legs. I just can't get up. God damn it!
Oh my God, no, this isn't happening. This isn't happening!
You gotta go help.
On The Walking Dead.
Hey, Jay, come on!
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel here today, and we're going to be breaking down the layoffs Telltale had yesterday. So guys, it is near the end for Telltale Games. I mean, it pretty much, they are now under 25. I remember I talked about the Skeleton Crew about a week ago when I was talking about The Walking Dead. They had 25 members on board to finish up Minecraft. Actually, some of them were not all related to the Minecraft team, so I just want to say before I start this video, this is about that layoff and stuff. This has nothing to do with The Walking Dead and its future, because The Walking Dead may not even be related with Telltale, because Telltale, remember, if you watched yesterday's video, Pete Hawley told The Variety that they were trying to trade it off to another company. So I'm going to break down what had happened in the last week with this Skeleton Crew and the layoffs, and what happened recently yesterday that, you know, it looks like Telltale Games is pretty much nearing its conclusion. Even though Pete Hawley thought they could maybe survive it, just more people getting cut does not look good at all. So let's go straight into the video, guys. Hope you guys do enjoy, and let's do this. So Rachel, she was one of the people working on Minecraft Storm Mode, and she says, hey, remember how there was going to be a Skeleton Crew? From talking about Telltale staying on for a while, and I was part of it? Nah, just kidding. We just got laid off. We all just got laid off too. Now, there was a lot of misinterpretation, which she did not mean every single member of the Skeleton Crew got laid off, but her team that was part of the Skeleton Crew did get laid off. So let me go break into that. She also did not get severance either. So the situation continues to get more and more messy. Another employee that still works at Telltale, Sarah. I'm really sorry, it was good to talk to you yesterday. I don't know what my fate is yet. So not every single employee is fired yet, and this person ended up privating their Twitter, obviously, probably because they were getting spammed with tweets. But yes, there is hope that there's still some people left to do whatever they're going to do, but I'm telling you, the end is pretty much in sight. And it's unfortunate, but it is what it is. And just more confirmation here. I think there was some misunderstanding about my earlier message. There are still good people at the company my team has done. So she was, I don't know how big her team was, but it probably was at least 5 to 10 members. So that means Telltale is at least down to 20, probably under 20 employees, maybe 15-ish now. But she was not part of the Walking Dead team. So I don't know if there's any people left that were with the Walking Dead team. I'm pretty sure they were all fired, but there are still employees at Telltale, but it is dwindling by the days, and I'm pretty sure once this Walking Dead deal happens, I'm pretty sure we'll almost get an immediate confirmation of Telltale's closure / official bankruptcy, but it is looking more and more likely like this will be very, very soon. Alright everybody, so I'm going to be going through this article, and then we'll go through the tweets with the Telltale employees. So this article I think is very important for people to understand. This breaks down basically everything that happened with Telltale Games the last week that's led to their pretty much demise. And it's called The Tragic End of Telltale Games, How an Award-Winning Studio Abruptly Shuttered as Told by the People Who Were There. So this is kind of like a more of an in-depth thing I think we need to understand and go through, because, you know, as a fan of Telltale and a huge supporter, I think I want to know more about the situation and, you know, what really happened behind the closed doors other than what we just heard. And this article is kind of like really good, so I'll throw a link to it in the description if you guys want to read, but I'm going to, you know, read some stuff from it, and you guys can interpret it any way you want. So, Friday, September 21st was the day that we found out the 250 employees were laid off. And the sad thing is, as this article says, they were working on The Walking Dead Episode 2, as was about to release next week, and they were working on other titles such as The Wolf Among Us and Stranger Things. But only a couple hours later, these people, over 250 employees, would have no job, no severance, no health insurance by the end of the month, which was in 9 days. And we remember The Verge talked about this. Talked about a couple months ago, way back when, for my old OG subs, remember Telltale Games laid off 25% of their staff. CEO Kevin Bruner got ousted from the company because they blamed him for Telltale's struggles that they had as a company. And remember, that's when Pete Hawley took over about them. But yes, 90 employees, 25% were laid off. And I talked about this stuff with Kevin Bruner, about the churn and burn, the multiple IPs, too many stuff Telltale was taking on after the success of The Walking Dead and The Wolf Among Us. Although the employees were granted pay until the end of 2017, given time to say their goodbyes, the hundreds impacted by September 2018 layoffs were not lucky. These people got it way worse than the 25% that got laid off way back in 2017, or at the end of 2018, March. So the crazy part about this is that they were asked to leave the building in 30 minutes. Imagine going to your job and being told, hey, you're fired, 30 minutes, get out. No severance, your health insurance is gone 9 days. Some people even lived check to check, and bam, that's it, you're fired. And a lack of severance meant that countless developers living paycheck to paycheck in the pricey Bay Area, as they live in California, Telltale's in California, were left with no pay to their rent. Many were devastated by impending loss of health care for them and their families. Employees on work visas may soon be forced to leave the country. As yes, several employees came from different countries, and they were just hiring people last week, which it was kind of like an unfortunate situation that happened. Management informed employees there would be a last-minute company-wide meeting, the sort of event that was typically scheduled far in advance. Immediately, my thought was, as an employee said, this is either good that they had to call an emergency meeting, or it's really bad. One former employee says, some developers bumped plans around their current projects to attend. Then the whispers began. Back up your work, get your portfolio ready. Some wondered if the layoffs in November were repeated. And this kind of explains what Telltale CEO Pete Hawley had gone through. So, 11:30 a.m., co-founder Dan Connors even came to this meeting. And many feared this because he wasn't, around anymore. So CEO Pete Hawley, typically energetic and on his feet during meetings, was somber. I have to sit down for this from multiple sources. Recall Hawley saying, I'm afraid our journey ends today. After a year of trying to reinvent itself, Telltale had run out of money. Because as I said before, the churn and burn, they put too many games. They weren't getting any money off all these other games. Batman, surprisingly, the first season, didn't really, it was like one of their worst sold games. Season 2 was better. They were starting, you could tell the quality since Batman Season 2 was starting to pick up, but it continued to dip and dip and dip. Their money, their money wasn't there. And it's a sad thing, you need money. You need money to keep going. So, I've never heard the room so silent, one source says. You could hear a pin drop. The news only got worse. Telltale's head told employees, because of the company's financial strain, employees would not get severance pay. Some remained stoic at the news while others began to cry. One source tells The Verge that half of their monthly income was dedicated to rent alone. Yikes. The situation, guys, it sucks. It just sucks. I feel so bad for everyone involved with this. There's no one I feel worse than the employees at the end of the day of this. So, everyone was given a folder on employment information in less than an hour to leave. It was over in a half an hour, the source says. Some loitered for a bit after to get their immediate belongings to say goodbye, but it was pretty quick, and it was like one and done sort of thing. Wow. I mean, that's just crazy. So, this breaks down even into more Pete Hawley's thing. Pete Hawley's entrance into Telltale as CEO was the company's attempt to right its sinking ship. Hawley had been brought in specifically to get the company back on track financially. Sources say he cleaned out toxic members of the team and raised wages. They described him as having a refreshingly hands-off approach, one that allowed the creatives at the studio to be in charge of the work. I think personally, in my opinion, based on what I've heard, what I've seen the last year with Telltale, I thought Pete Hawley was doing the right thing. I just thought, sadly, it was too late. He came in too late. I think just the old management and everything, it unfortunately was, they effed the company too much, and it was at a situation where, Pete Hawley I called this as he had to make a miracle happen. And, in all likeliness, it was not going to happen because they were already too down in money to get anything going. I mean, he said his goal when he came on board, remember, was we got to get money. And that was their goal because they had to get back into a good financial situation. So, I mean, it was crazy. So for many developers, initial awareness of Holly faded as Telltale's culture improved. The company I left on Friday, September 21st was very different from the company I started working at, says more from Telltale is moving towards a healthier, more stable place. Hence why I think Holly was doing the right job. He tried his best at the end of the day, and it just time. You don't get enough time in life sometimes to get the things you want done. It's just, like I said, the old management completely screwed this up. And if there's anyone you guys should maybe put a portion of the blame on, it's probably the old management, because I think Holly tried his best. And that's my opinion. You may not disagree. You may agree or disagree with me, but that's what I think. So, for some people, the company Holly did not bring about radical change that they had hoped for. One employee described the company's direction under him as business as usual on a fundamental level, making expenses to be with an IP holder, aim for an unrealistic deadline that forced us to rush production, and hope we crossed the finish line without burning out. In the end, the company was unable to recoup financial stability. I mean, it's just, again, wow. So it's something Pete Holly told us when he pretty much joined last year. That's why I'm here. I'm here to get us money. Hence why I just said we can keep making great things. Telltale Games has also been underperforming for some time. Although pre-orders for Telltale's The Walking Dead final season were initially promising, the game hadn't sold as well as expected, which I'm shocked. As someone that plays The Walking Dead, I mean, I can't say YouTube had a factor in this. A lot of people are blaming YouTube and people watching YouTube for the reason they didn't buy it. I personally think it was cheap, $20. Maybe not everyone has $20, I understand. But I thought, this was going to be they even had a demo. They had the Walking Dead collection. If you pre-ordered the final season, you got the Walking Dead collection for free. Hence why I think they had these pre-order bonuses so they can try and get more people to pre-order, but it really just didn't work out. So, here's more on this insurmountable challenges quote, remember we heard. One of these challenges had to do with our partners losing trust in us. One former employee says, in June, Tech Radar broke 2 stories in upcoming high-profile projects. Netflix would bring Minecraft Story Mode to its service, and Telltale was working on a new game based on Stranger Things. The information leaks earlier this year affected us negatively. Other Telltale sources echoed the sentiment with one pointing legal fees due to the leak. Was this what shut down the company? Absolutely not, one says. Years and years of terrible management, childish optimism, ego, and everything. Kevin Bruner caused this. A former employee said this. Again, I personally am going to put majority of the blame on the old management led by Kevin Bruner into what this happened. He put them in a very poor situation. But like I said, Pete Holly tried his best. At the end of the day, it was just, And also, the studio was entangled in a lawsuit with Bruner regarding his expulsion from the company, which Telltale describes as an apparent means of extracting revenge on a company already under financial strain. And here's what happened. Here is what basically caused all this. The final nail in the coffin was the potential investors who dropped out last second. On Thursday, 2 companies decided against investing in Telltale. And when contacted by The Verge, one of the 2 companies, AMC, remember they make the Walking Dead TV show, declined to comment. The second was a South Korean mobile game company, Smilegate. We were told the one backer pulled out like 2 p.m. on Thursday and the other at 7 p.m. on Thursday. Former Telltale employee told The Verge it was immediate. It was bam, bam, both of them backed out. Wow. And that's just basically, that was the nail in the coffin. When those 2 partners decided to stop funding, it was over. There was no chance. And the sad thing, and this literally had to happen a week before episode 2 of the final season came out. I mean, it was like, are you freaking serious? I mean, an AMC source with inside knowledge, however, seemed surprised that AMC might have been considered a done deal. AMC did weigh possibilities of investing according to that source, however, its primary interest remained in the Walking Dead TV show. AMC has never been involved with Telltale's take on the world. Telltale's greatest falling may have been its overconfidence. Sources emphasized to The Verge repeatedly that despite the challenges, they were under the impression the company could survive until at least year's end. And hence why I do believe this is why The Walking Dead final season was scheduled to end in December. I thought once The Walking Dead final season could end with this, all this bad stuff, that could have been the end of Telltale. Maybe their plan was to finish The Walking Dead, and then after that, go from there, and that would probably have been the ending, which, kind of sucks. Many former employees said the new projects were expected to save the company if they could only have finished them. It is still BS, however, and if the company was in trouble, some warning would have helped a lot of people, adds another source. And here's the sad part. I do think The Wolf Among Us would have sold very well. The Wolf Among Us Season 2 would have sold very well. Stranger Things may have done very well. But again, the time was not there to finish this. And it's just a shitty situation. I can't keep saying that. And it literally keeps echoing that statement. But the truth is, there was no money. And that's, again, the sad part. No money. Although a skeleton crew remained to finish Minecraft Story Mode, no one The Verge spoke to sees Telltale's layoffs as anything but the end. Telltale is dead. Former employees weren't sure how the remaining developers were chosen to wrap up the project, which the company calls an effort to fulfill the company's obligation to its board and partners, which you remember that tweet was. They're still working on Minecraft Story Mode. Expect that once that project wraps up, they're probably going to be laid off next. And that's what we're going to be breaking down into very soon. Since the layoffs, the studio has announced it may still find a way to release that final episode of The Walking Dead final season, which we've talked about. The news is conflicting for many former employees. One says that if Telltale's partners want to finish the game, that's a separate issue from Telltale being able to continue on as a company. Whatever decisions they choose to make at this point, for the life of this has nothing to do with us. Another word to the news is nonsense, adding that it's impossible to switch teams and expect any consistency. It's also insulting to think that paying severance wouldn't be an absolute highest priority in terms of the next steps. Man, like I said, guys, this is just, tough. And now, according to a report from Kotaku, which was 2 days ago now, this was I'm reading this day after, Telltale's negotiating a deal with another company that could use former staff. Confusion abounds about the company's messing around its status, but as several former developers note, they were instructed to list their reason for unemployment as a company closure on official papers. One former employee is suing Telltale as part of a class action lawsuit for allegedly violating labor laws. According to the lawsuit, the company is in violation of the Warren Act, which stipulates that employees must give advance written notice 60 days before layoffs. Oh my god, this is just, it's bad, So, Telltale's official channels did not respond to requests for comment in the story. COP Colley declined to comment due to legal reasons. We'll have things to say soon about all topics you raise, he said. The Verge, there is a story to be told based on truth, facts, and how we ended up in this terrible situation, much of which has not been told. When contacted by The Verge via phone, co-founder Dan Connors declined to comment. More than a week after layoffs, the shock is worn off for many Telltale's former employees, and the place remains a despondency for projects that will never be finished and teams that were split apart. A lot of us who worked here, we really did love our company, and we really believed in our projects we were working on, says when I think that excitement turned to kind of opposite and made some of us blind to the red flags. Wow. No one, not a single person expected to come in regular day and be told that the company was on. We thought we'd at least have the opportunity to finish the season of The Walking Dead. Oh my god, this is just like, I hope this other company, if The Walking Dead gets sold to another company, I hope, damn, they make a good job, because they were so freaking, they thought, hey, at least if the worst comes to worst, we can damn finish the final season. But we honestly thought if we could do that, then things would be fine. As displaced developers pick up the pieces, many of us said Telltale was not a faceless corporate entity. It was a band of passionate, dedicated people, many whom are now without jobs, insurance, or a means to support themselves in one of the priciest parts in the United States. Oh my god, guys. I mean, this is just, It's, I don't know. But after a sudden closure that left so many employees blindsided and financially vulnerable, Telltale's legacy is shaping to be something different. The studio may be remembered for how it ended as much as the games it left behind. This is not how you treat employees, this is not how you treat people, and managers and execs out there can expect an official game dev union to be legal and formed within a few years. One former employee says, I have no doubt this will go down as one of the straws that broke the camel's back. And this will probably be, when we look back at this years from now, we'll probably say, wow, this is kind of the thing that, changed a lot with, how game developers treat employees and stuff. And this is tough, guys. So let me go break down into the screenshots. I'm probably going to actually show them before this article. Thank you all for watching. A 20-minute video almost. And I want to thank you all for your support. Let's go for 1,000 likes. And I'll catch you all in the next video. Peace.